Welcome to all the devotees to our weekly Bhakti Vaibhav class. And
Hare,
uh, yes, Mataji,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji to you.
you able to hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji, very well.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So, for the last few months, we have been discussing from Canto 3, and last week we also had a quick summary of what all we discussed. So, in quick, we saw how the Supreme Lord, the first Purusha Avatara Mahavishnu, had created unlimited universes by glancing upon Prakriti or Pradhana or Maya Shakti. He created unlimited Brahmandas, then expanding himself as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, entered into each and every universe and he created Garbhodaka ocean. Then he manifested a lotus coming out of his navel and expanding himself as Shivadakshaya Vishnu, entered into that lotus. And as a result of that, the first living entity, Brahma, appeared on top of that lotus. Who wanted to find out the source of himself and the lotus, made endeavor for 100 years but could not find the source of the lotus. But understanding that he need to perform tapasya, he performed tapasya. He had darshan of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. He offered wonderful prayers and sought for the empowerment by which he can do the service that he was regularly doing. So Garbhodakshaya Vishnu empowered him with giving appropriate knowledge, what to do and how to do, etc. Then Brahma, dividing that lotus into 14 divisions, he then began to create the different forms for different variety of living entities. For aquatics, the suitable form. For plants, the suitable form. For human beings, the suitable form. For devatas, the suitable forms. For asura, the suitable forms. And also for the great sages, Prajapatis, the four Kumaras, Narada Muni, Rudras, and all such creations Brahmaji done, and culminating in the creation of Swayambhuva Manu and Shatarupa. As soon as they were born, they approached Brahma asking for some seva. Brahma requested Swayambhuva Manu to take up the responsibility of taking care of the living entities, which primarily includes the human beings who are supposed to live in Bhuloka. But Swayambhuva Manu said, my dear father, the abode where the Manus used to reside in the past, it is not visible now. Seems that the Bhumandala fell into Garbhodaka ocean. Please do something to bring it up. Then Brahma understood it is beyond his capacity. As he offered his praise to Supreme Lord, the Supreme Lord appeared from his nostril as a small creature and then lifted the Bhumandala and expanding himself as Kurma, and he began to float in the waters of Garbhodaka ocean by keeping the Bhumandala upon his back so that the Bhumandala does not sink into Garbhodaka ocean. So then Swayambhuva Manu was supposed to start ruling over the Bhumandala and perform all the activities. That is their normal sequence. But the same Varaha again appeared during Chakshusha Manvantara for the purpose of same lifting the Bhumandala from Garbhodaka ocean. But while doing so, Hiranyaksha came and trying to obstruct Lord Varaha. There was a fight. In that fight, ultimately Lord Varaha delivered Hiranyaksha by killing him. So all those pastimes are also spoken, by the way, in these few chapters, because Vidura wanted to know in detail this pastime, how Lord Varaha appeared and why, how Hiranyaksha appeared and why Hiranyaksha obstructed the Supreme Lord and what kind of fight happened between them, etc. So all the details we have seen through all these chapters in the past, and afterwards, um, in order to summarize what he had spoken till now, and also in order to talk about what he has not spoken, what are the things he has missed till now, he is kind of summarizing the section of creation in chapter 20. In first few verses, it is summarized how Lord Vishnu creates, and then in while talking about how Brahma creates, so which Maitreya Muni already spoke in chapter 10, the creation of four different types of living entities. such as the plants, different variety of animals, starting with aquatics, reptiles, mammals, and birds and beasts, etc. And then the creation of human beings, and then the creation of 8 kinds of superhuman beings. Only in 1 2 verses, their names are mentioned in the chapter 10. The 8 category of superhuman beings. And how these 8 category of superhuman beings were created is elaborately explained in chapter 20. So last week we were discussing about how after manifesting the 5 ajnana vrittis, Tamishra, Tamas, Moha, Mahamoha, Tamishra, and the Tamishra. After manifesting these 5 ajnana vrittis, these are the 5 coverings upon the soul, which makes the soul to forget oneself, being the servant of the Supreme Lord, being in part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and makes one identify oneself with the body in which one is living. So with that material upadhi, these 5 coverings of ajnana will bind a jiva in this material world. So what kind of material upadhis one would get? All such upadhis have been presented in chapter 10, especially the 4 kinds of yonis, the vriksha yoni, the pashupakshi yoni, and manushya yoni, and then the superhuman beings, Deva Yoni. It is called in Bhagavatam as Deva Yoni. So they are the 4 different variety of manifestations of the Jiva in a conditioned state in this material world. So because of these 5 ajnana vrittis, we identify with the body in which we are living as long as we are in that body. As long as the Jiva is in the human body, we say, I am human being. When Jiva enters into animal, we say, I am dog, I am tiger, I am lion. When Jiva enters into a superhuman body, we say that I am Devata, I am Asura, I am Gandharva, I am Kinnara, Kimpurusha, etc. So the identity is very strong. This is because of the 5 coverings. Avidya, Asmita, Raga, Dvesha, Abhinivesha. So when Brahma, after manifesting these 5 coverings, and also after creating the lower species such as aquatics, plants, reptiles, birds, beasts, etc., even before creating the human beings, Brahma was not at all happy with such kind of creation. When he was not happy with such creation, in that unhappiness state, in that disgust, Brahma became very angry. What kind of creation I am doing? This is not what Lord wanted. He became angry, he became completely unsatisfied. As a result of that unsatisfaction, as a result of that angry nature, there appeared all the Yakshas and Rakshasas. And these Yakshas and Rakshasas, as soon as they appeared, they felt intense hungry that they began to look for the food. They could not find any food. They only saw Brahmaji in front of them. So some of them they said, eat him up, Yaksha, Yaksha. Other Brahmaji saying that no, don't eat me, don't, please spare me, please protect me, please protect me. Others said, don't protect him, Ma Raksha, Ma Raksha. Those people who said eat him up, Yaksha, Yaksha, they became Yakshas. Those people who said don't protect him, Ma Raksha, they became Rakshasas. So, but Brahma said, oh my dear sons, you are my sons only, why are you doing like this? So to go away from them, Brahmaji gave that mentality which manifested in his heart. And that mentality which took the form of night, which is accepted by these Yakshas and Rakshasas. That's why we see in the scriptures, the Yakshas and Rakshasas become active in the night time or in the nightly activities. Matlab, impersonal, the impious or adharmic activity, they become very much active. So Brahma was very much sorry. What kind of creation I am doing? This is in my very body and very bad. All the lower species and Rakshasas, Yakshas, I need to do something very good. So first of all, I need to raise my consciousness to mode of goodness. From mode of ignorance to he has come to mode of goodness with cool mind, cool mentality, cool consciousness. Then in that cool state, he created Devatas. And Devatas were very much happy and very much obedient and full of knowledge. And Brahma was so satisfied. He understood these people are obedient to me. These people will help me in all respects. They will help me in progressing the creation and maintaining the creation. So Brahma gave that consciousness of knowledge, the consciousness imbued with full knowledge, and that took the shape of daytime. So Devatas accepted the daytime. That means Devatas become active during the daytime, and Devatas are also endowed with full, complete knowledge with the essence of all the Vedic literatures. So then, day and night done, and then one evening, Brahmaji felt some kind of lusty, some kama took shelter in his heart. As a result of that, from that kama, asuras were born. As soon as the asuras were born, they were looking for the opportunity for opposite sex. There was no one, and they saw Brahma, and they were running after Brahma for interaction with Brahma, thinking that Brahma to be opposite sex. So Brahma understood this is beyond my control. I cannot control these people. So Brahma prayed to Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu told, "Don't worry, don't worry. They were produced because of your consciousness. So give that up." So Brahma gave up that consciousness of being lusty, etc. And that consciousness took the shape of evening twilight, Sandhya time. So the sun was setting in the western direction, and the devatas were running towards Brahma. And as soon as the evening twilight appeared before the devatas, they thought that they understood that, hey, this is a beautiful lady. So they gave up running after Brahma and they began to look at evening twilight. And they began to glorify, oh lady, who are you? Who are your parents? Are you married? Are you not married? What kind of woman are you? So many things they are telling, they were also describing her beauty and so many things. So ultimately they kind of attracted to excuse me, Hare Krishna, that evening twilight, and somehow or other Brahmaji was saved. Bhagavatam does not say what happened to them afterwards, but Bhagavatam only talks about what Brahma did afterwards. But in any case, we can see from the Puranic stories and Ityasa stories, the Asuras are always filled with so many desires, and they are always looking after for the association of opposite sex and in that sense gratification ultimately. And many times we discuss this in the fifth canto when the discussion about the abodes of the Asuras come. They are endowed with lot of opulences, and in the midst of that, they are also in the association of so many ladies, and they are always engaged in sense gratification. That is their primary activity. So that's how the asuras were created by Brahma, and they are meant to do such kind of activities. So it is like that. And then Brahmaji, then one full moon night, Brahmaji was so happy, so happy. He was jumping and singing and so many things. In that happy state of consciousness of Brahma, there appeared Gandharvas and Apsaras. And Brahma gave that consciousness that took the shape of full moon night. And Apsaras and Gandharvas become so happy with full moon condition, full moon condition. So because the Apsaras and Gandharvas become very much active in that full moon, especially in the spring season. So currently we are about to start spring season. So spring season full moon night is very pleasurable. It is neither rainy nor winter nor sunny. So it is like it is a transition period. It is very good and very nice. So in the Ramayana Mahabharata Itihasas, we always see many times whenever Indra wanted to check, test, or disrupt some great sages tapasya, he will request Kandarpa, the head of the Gandharvas and Apsaras. So please see what he is up to do. Whether he is doing something seriously or he want my position, he wants something bigger than that or whatever it is. Kindly check, kindly test. So Kandarpa goes and he creates spring season. That too, spring season's full moon night, which is very much favorable for Brahman, Gandharvas and Apsaras. And the Gandharvas sing and Apsaras dance, and the persons, the sage becomes attracted to them. So some of them will become victim to that, some of them will not. So in any case, so that's how they became expert in that particular amusement, the Gandharvas and Apsaras. So the details about them also we saw how they were created by Brahma because of his extreme happiness on the moon night. So and then uh, we discussed this one. At one point of time, Brahma became lazy. तो बहुत काम कर लिया अभी थोड़ा सा आराम करेंगे So he became lazy in doing anything and he fell flat. And he was feeling so much, what you can say, uh, indifferent to what he is supposed to do. होने दो जो होगा होगा जो नहीं होगा तो नहीं होगा. He became completely lazy, indifferent, and inactive, and moody, and so many things. He felt as if a mad person falls flat or a intoxicated person falls flat, something like that. He is in completely dizziness. As a result of that, from Brahma's laziness, there appeared Bhuta Preta Pichashas, who are indifferent to surroundings, without wear clothes, without keep their hair braided, and all these things. Matlab, they are like in a mad state. They are not at all worried about what is the surrounding and what is all around, and indifferent to everything around. So in that state of consciousness, these Bhuta Preta Pishachas appeared, and Brahma suddenly woke up and he saw all the naked men and women are in front of him. So Brahma became afraid and immediately closed his eyes and fled away from that. And so Brahma gave up that laziness, and Bhuta Preta Pishachas took the possession of that laziness. So Prabhupada writes about this: when people become lazy and they give way to Bhuta Preta Pishachas to enter into them, to be haunted by Bhuta Preta Pishachas. So Bhuta Preta Pishachas himself, they have separate loka, but in our vicinity also some lesser category of Bhuta Pretas also might be roaming around, and they look for a proper opportunity when people are not conscious, in the sense they are not very much active, they are not very much attentive, and they are completely lazy, completely tired and intoxicated, and such kind of uh, unfamiliar situations give way for the Bhuta Pretas to enter into them, to haunt them, and through them they can do whatever they want in such a way. So that is how this condition takes place. So when a person is in contaminated state, one gives way for the bhutas to attack him or attack her, something like that. That's how they get haunted by them. So that's where we stopped last week, and today we'll continue from text number 42 onwards. So here in 42, Brahmaji is going to create sadhyas and pitrus. So another category of Upadevatas, and one of the eight types of superhuman beings. So one of you kindly repeat after me the shloka. ऊर्जस्वन्तं मन्यमाना
ऊर्जसत्वं मन्यमानाम्
ऊर्जस्वन्तं मन्यमाना
ऊर्जसन्तं मन्यमाना
आत्मानं भगवान् अजा
आत्मानं भगवान् अजः
साध्यान् गणान् पितृगणान्
साध्यान् गणान् पितृगणान्
परोक्षेण सृजत् प्रभु.
परोक्षेण सृजत् प्रभु. Translation: recognizing himself to be full of desire and energy, the worshipable Brahma, the creator of the living entities, evolved from his own invisible form from his navel, the host of sadhyas and pittas.
So during the previous creation, Brahmaji was feeling so much lazy, so much dizzy, so much indifferent, and so much in kind of a kind of tamoguna kind of state. So Brahmaji was not at all happy with that state. As a result of that, because as a result of that, bhutas, pretas were created. So he kind of became conscious, and he became, matlab, he raised his consciousness, in the sense he became active and he became conscious of everything surrounding what is happening around him, and he kind of endowed himself with full of power and full of energy and full of potencies, etc. So among the different qualities a person possesses, here from two qualities, Brahmaji created a two category of beings. Then Brahma, thinking himself the most powerful, he created sadhyas, and then by his potency as invisibility, he created the pitrus. So these are like various potencies of Lord Brahma. So when Brahmaji felt, so I am the strongest, I am the most powerful. So from that mentality, there appeared the sadhyas. Sadhyas are also the powerful devatas among the different types of devatas. If you see in the Ramayana, Mahabharata, or even Bhagavatam, many times when the war episodes were spoken, the names of the sadhyas also will come. They also take part in the war very actively. These are one kind of Upadevatas, but very powerful people. And then Brahma also said that Antardan, whenever he wants, he can become invisible, etc. So, as a result of that, there appeared Pitrus. The Pitru Devatas uh, took place as a result of that. So, Pitrus also are invisible to us. They are endowed with such kind of potency, so they remain invisible. In our fifth canto discussions, we talk about this verse many times because there will be discussion about the moon. Whenever the discussion about the moon comes, we always discuss about this verse because the moon planet is the abode of these two people. The Sadhyas and Pitrus both reside in the moon planet, and the side of the moon which is towards the earth is occupied by the Sadhyas. The other side of the moon is occupied by the Pitrus. So from that point of view, we don't see the Pitrus, never, because the Pitrus are never in front of us. They are always behind us. I mean, they are on the moon, that part of the moon which we don't see ever. So that's why they remain invisible. And also, even it is said that many of the Pitrus, some by good fortune, some of our forefathers have visited Pitruloka. It is said that they keep visiting us always, but they remain invisible to us. They are never visible to us because by virtue, the Pitrus endowed with this invisibility power, so they remain invisible. So one time, Brahma's power and invisibility appeared. They became the Sadhyas and Pitrus. Their oblations also appeared. From his strength appeared the Sadhyas. Sadhyas appeared from Brahma's strength, and from the potency of invisibility appeared the Pitrus. Antardana Shakti. The Pitrus appeared from that. So then Bhagavatam also talks about, because these are the devatas. So they also have a lot of services. They have also have a lot of responsibilities in relation to the universal management. So in order to express our gratitude toward them, we need to make special offerings to them. Sa atmasargam samkayam. Someone repeat after me.
Atma sargam tam kyam kayam
Pitara pratipedire.
pitaraha pratipedire
Sadhyebhyascha pitrebhyascha
adhyavescha pitrevescha
kavayo yadvitanvate.
kavayo yad vitanvate. Translation: the Pitas themselves took possession of the invisible body, the source of their existence. It is through the medium of this invisible body that those well versed in the rituals of oblations to the sadhyas and pitas in the form of their departed ancestors on the occasion of Shraddha. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So whatever consciousness because of which the Pitrus appeared and Sadhyas appeared, when Brahma gave up that state of consciousness and they accepted that. The Sadhyas accepted the power and Pitrus accepted that invisibility. So along with them, their offerings also appeared. The Sadhyas and Pitrus accepted the appropriate bodies and accepted the two sides of the moon, Pitruloka, as their residence. The moon planet is known as Pitruloka. Whenever in the scriptures we hear that Pitruloka, Pitruloka, Pitruloka is nothing but the moon planet. By these bodies, the wise offer Havya to the Sadhyas and Kavya to the Pitrus with faith. So whenever there is an Yajna is going on, we offer oblations to different devatas by chanting the mantra Idam Indraya Swaha, Idam Namama, Idam Somaya Swaha, Idam Namama, Idam Pitrubhyo Namaha, Idam Namama. So like that, the mantras are chanted. When the mantras are chanted, for every time when they offer the certain kind of oblation, the priest will also say that what kind of oblations we are offering. So the oblations offered to sadhyas are known as kavya. The oblations offered to the pitrus are known as, sorry, the previous one is called havya or havishyana, and that oblations offered to pitrus are known as kavya. Kavyam, havyam, havishyanam. So there are different variety of oblations. So especially those people who want to go to Pitruloka, they have a particular sadhana in which they need to regularly worship the Pitru Devatas. So they need to offer this Pitru Shraddhas, Kavya, known as Kavya, regularly. So it's like that. So details I don't know. Someone who, if you want to know, you can talk to some priest who does such kind of yajnas, etc. They will tell more details. But in any case, just like in order to go to spiritual world, we have bhakti, a kind of sadhana. Similarly, those who wish to go to Pitruloka, there is a different kind of sadhana. And that sadhana will include a lot of worship of the Pitru Devatas by offering the suitable offerings. And those offerings are known as kavya. And as a result of that, one will go to Pitruloka after having attained perfection in one's sadhana. That is the moon planet. Having gone there, they are endowed with the opportunity to drink somarasa as long as they are there, and afterward they will come back. So this is the way our Brahmaji had created uh, the Pitrus and Sadhyas, who both together considered one of the 8 category of superhuman beings. So yeah, before going further, anyone has any questions till now based on the previous classes or summary and etc.?
No, Prabhuji, thank you.
Oh, okay. सिद्धान् विद्याधरांश्चैव
सिद्धान् विद्याधरांश्चैव
तिरोधानेन सोऽसृजत्
तिरोधानेन सोऽसृजत्
तेभ्यो ददात्तमात्मानम्
तेभ्यो ददात्तम् आत्मानम्
अन्तर्धानाख्यमद्भुतम्
अंतर्धानाख्यम adbhutam. Translation. Then Lord Brahma, by his ability to be hidden from vision, created the Siddhas and Vidyadharas and gave them that wonderful form of his known as Antardhana. Hare Krishna.
So then some other day, as Brahma was feeling like to express his abilities, then as a result of that there appeared Siddhacharana Vidyadharas. Though the name Charanas are not mentioned in this verse, but Charanas are also the same category as Siddhas and Vidyadharas. Siddhacharana Vidyadharas, all 3 put together appeared from Brahma's ability of disappearance. Antardhana. The Pitrus appeared from the ability of invisibility, but the Siddhacharana Vidyadharas appeared from the ability of disappearance. And Brahma gave them a similar kind of bodies. Matlab, after creating them, Brahma gave that consciousness that was taken by these people. Siddhacharana Vidyadharas, as it will be described in Canto 5, by birth they are endowed with all the mystic siddhis. In Bhagavatam 11th Canto, we study that there are 8 types of major siddhis, there are 8 types of minor siddhis, and there are 5 types of super minor siddhis. So 8 plus 8 plus 5, total 21 siddhis are there. And the yogis generally are endowed with all these siddhis. And there is a one category of say devatas who also have this siddhi. They are Siddha Charana Vidyadharas. They are endowed with all these mystic siddhis and they can achieve whatever they want. Antardhana is also one such siddhi. So wherever they want to disappear, they will disappear, and wherever they want to appear, they will appear. So just by mystery potency, they can travel from one place to other place. Sometimes we also hear during Kumbh Mela times, the Naga Babas who are living in Himalayas, they disappear in the Himalayas, following the path of Ganga, they come all the way up to Prayag and they appear in Prayag and they take bath in Triveni Sangam and again they disappear and they go back to Himalayas. Just a momentary time. They come from there to here and here to there. They go back. They can take shelter of one of the Pancha Mahabhutas, either Akasha, ether, fire, water, earth, and they can travel from one place to other place through the medium of these Pancha Mahabhutas. Because they are endowed with such kind of siddhis. So the siddhas also by birth they are endowed with all such wonderful siddhis. So these are one category of Upadevatas. So they were manifested from Brahma, from the potency known as Antardhanakyam. So in that way. So one time Brahma disappeared. From that, the Siddhas, Charanas, Vidyadharas appeared, and they took that position. They took that kind of ability at their physical body. The body itself, by birth, had that ability. Later in the Bhagavatam 6th canto, we read that Chitraketu Maharaj. So all of you must have heard in some of the Bhagavatam classes, Chitraketu Maharaj, who wanted to have a son. He was marrying again and again, many thousands of wives he had, but still there was no child. He was completely disappointed because it is the duty of a king. Before he retires, he should keep the kingdom in the hands of a qualified person, especially in their own lineage. The king want to have a son always, who is qualified son, who can rule the kingdom. So that's why the king was so much worried about, I need to have a son who will take care of the kingdom. So Angira Rishi came, and the sage was so much morose. Rishi asked, what is the reason for your moroseness? The king said, my dear sage, I don't have any child. But Rishi knew this king is not supposed to have any child. But king is so much dissatisfied in order to help him understand the nature of this material world. He told, okay, take this mango or some sweet rice, whatever it is, give it to your wife, one of your wives whom you like the most, and she will bear a child for you and name him as Harshashoka. As it is said, he has given that sweet rice or mango to his dearmost wife, Kritaditi. In due course of time, she gave birth to a son. The king became so attached to this wife and son only, spending all his time with that wife and son only. But there are so many other wives who felt they are neglected, they are meaningless, useless. They became very much anguished and they became angry. All these things are because of the son only. When there was no son, the king was equal to all of us. When son came, king forgot us. They poisoned the son and killed the son. Even when he was about 6 months old or 1 year old, or not so long, the king was crying like as if he's dead. Then Narada Muni and Angir Rishi again came. They gave him the knowledge by the son himself, for whom the king was so much attached. He understood the nature of the duality of this material world, the nature of this material existence. Then he said, my dear Naradaji, you are my guru, please tell me what I am supposed to do. So Narada Muni taught him one mantra, that Chaturvyuha mantra, that mantra which had the names of the Chaturvyuha, Sankar, Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Ruddha. Chanting that mantra and performing austerities for 1 week, he had darshan of Lord Sankarsana, and Lord Sankarsana made him as the king of Vidyadharas. So he became the king of Vidyadharas, and he was traveling in an airplane for 1 lakh years. So later on, Lord Sankarsana thought, I gave him darshan, because he was so much attached to this material world and ruling Andal, I made him king of Vidyadharas so that he can fulfill his desires and come back to me. He's not coming only. So he inspired Mother Parvati and himself also, so that both will speak in a special way. And eventually was cursed by Mother Parvati to become Rutrasura. After becoming Rutrasura, he understood, बहुत हो गया अभी वापस जाने का. So then he himself inspired Indra to kill him, and after being killed by Rutrasura, our King Chitraketu went back to spiritual world. So he has become one of the Vidyadharas and lived in Vidyadhara Loka for 1 lakh years. So in that way, he was filled with all the mystic potencies, etc. Everything. So like that. Some example I remembered. So Vidyadharas are Siddhas, Charana, Vidyadharas are one category of Devatas who are living in the Bhor Loka, and they have endowed with all the special potencies. Like that. And then of the 8 categories, we have been discussing about Yaksha Rakshasas, then Devatas, then Asuras, then Gandharva Apsaras, then Bhuta Preta Pishashas, then Sadhyas and Pitrus, and then Siddha Charana Vidyadharas. 7 types are over. Now the last, the eighth one, will be created by Brahma. Hare Krishna. Someone want to say something? So
No
please
problem.
repeat after me. Sa kinnaran kim purushan
Sakinnaran kim purushan
pratyatmena srujat prabhu
pratyatmena srujat prabhu
manayan atmanatmanam
manayan atmanatmanam
atma basam vilokayan.
atma bhasam bilokayan. Translation. One day, Brahma, the creator of the living entities, beheld his own reflection in the water, and admiring himself, he evolved Kimpurusa as well as Kinnaras out of that reflections.
Yeah, one day Brahmaji was standing a mirror like water surface or mirror itself, whatever it is. He was looking himself in that transparent water or mirror, and he was looking himself, his own reflection in the mirror. And he was looking at him and he was thinking, oh, I am also so beautiful. I am no less than the beauty of any woman, something like that. He created the Kinnaras and Kimpurushas from his own reflection. So when he was looking himself into the mirror and looking at his beauty, and he was thinking himself, I am also no less, not less beautiful. I'm super beautiful, like any other woman, something like that. As a result of that consciousness, there appeared Kinnaras and Kimpurushas. His reflection appeared in the mirror. From that consciousness, the Kinnaras and Kimpurushas appeared. When he thought, I am beautiful, Atmana, Atmanam Manayan. When he saw himself in the mirror and he looking at his own beauty, he was thinking that I am so beautiful like any other beautiful girl, something like that. Atma Bhasam means a mirror. So now the actual reason will be told in the next verse. So how and what is the nature of these Kinnaras and Kimpurushas? ते तु तज्जगृहुरूपम्
ते तु तज्जगृरूपम्
त्यक्तं यत् परमेष्टिना
त्यक्तं यत् परमेष्ठिना
मिथुनी भूय गायन्तस्
मिथुनी भूय गायन्तस्
तमेवोषसि कर्मभिः.
तमेवो शशिकर्मभिः. Translation: One day, the Kim Purushas and Kinnaras took possession of that shadowy form left by Brahma. That is why they and their spouses sing his praises by recounting his exploits at every daybreak. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. As Brahma was looking himself in the mirror and thinking that I am also beautiful like a woman, then Kinnaras and Kimpurushas appeared. Then Brahmaji, well, I know what I'm doing here. So he gave up that mentality. Why I am thinking myself to be like a woman, beautiful. He gave up that mentality, and that mentality was accepted by Kinnaras and Kimpurushas. So the different attributes of the Kinnaras and Kimpurushas are mentioned here. They accepted that body of reflection cast off by Brahma. In couples, Brahma for his actions in the dawn. Every day early in the morning, Kinnaras and Kimpurushas praise Brahma for his wonderful activities. The reflection displayed men and women together. They accepted that reflection. So some say both men and women appeared together. Both of them are standing together. And some say the nature of men and women both appear together as one person, as Kinnaras and Kimpurushas. So from one meaning, the Kinnaras and Kimpurushas are neither male nor female. So they are in between. The male and female are together in that. That's why the word itself will say that Kim Nara, are you Nara? Are you human being? Kim Purusha? Kim Purusha? Are you a Purusha? Are you male? So, so in one sense, they look like male also, they look like female also. They are not this completely, not that completely. They have both attributes. Because Brahmaji was thinking like that at that time. While he was thinking like that, oh, I'm looking very beautiful like a woman. So as a result of that, these two are appeared. Even more than that, we also this is one meaning of the Kinnaras Kim Purushas. And traditionally, what we know about the Kim Purushas is all about the Vanaras which helped Lord Rama during the Ramayana, constructing the bridge and going to Lanka and fighting with Ravana and all. They are also called as Kim Purushas and Kinnaras. They also have the same tagline, the same name as the Kinnaras and Kim Purushas. So I'm not sure whether both of them monkeys are also called Kinnaras Kim Purushas, but the Kinnaras Kim Purushas spoken here are same as the monkeys or not, that I don't know. But there could be two categories of people also. So these special monkeys and special Vanaras also part of the Kim Purusha Kinnara category only. We don't know. But in any case, this is the characteristics of the Kim Purusha and Kinnaras. So they have the attributes of both men and women together. So in this way, one after the other, Lord Brahma manifested the 8 types of the superhuman beings from his different states of consciousness. And the people who are created in that particular state of consciousness will embody those consciousness and display the activities in that consciousness always. Like that. Then, after creating all these people, according to Bhagavatam, then Brahma created 4 Kumaras. We discussed elaborately about this in the 12th chapter. So Brahmaji, after creating these 4 category of species, the plants and different variety of animals and human beings, finally the 8 types of the superhuman beings. So Brahmaji thought that these are the 4 categories of bondage in this material world. When Jiva takes shelter of one of these 4 types of bodies, the Jiva is bound in this material world. How Jiva can be liberated from this material world? For the purpose of liberating the conditioned souls, with proper contemplation, Lord Brahma created 4 Kumaras, who are the empowered acharyas for teaching Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga. Jnana, Yoga, Tapasya, Vairagya. These are the 4 important principles following which one can be per conditioned soul can be delivered from the bondage of this material world. And the teachers to propagate this knowledge far and wide are the 4 Kumaras. And they appeared as the representatives to teach Jnana, Yoga, Vairagya and Tapasya. Then Brahmaji wanted to do something more. Then Brahmaji requested, okay, oh teachers, please get married and beget children. But the teacher said very angry, no, you are telling us marry and beget children? No way. We don't even grow up only. We remain 5 years old boys and we continue like this celibate monks. We don't want to get married and all. So first Brahmaji became angry. Hey, you आप लोग मुझे answer दे रहे, मुझे उत्तर दे रहे. You don't want to follow me. So, but he understood, no, these people have good intention. That's why they don't want to get into all these worldly activities. So then Brahmaji, when he's about to control his anger, that anger appeared in the form of 11 Rudras. So then Brahmaji again settled and made himself sit in proper conscious state. And then he thought that I need to have teachers now. They are teachers also, and they should also progenitors. They should be Prajapatis also. They should teach as well as they should beget children. So previously, when 4 Kumaras who appeared to teach Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Tapasya and Vairagya, the first prerequisite for practicing these 4 things is renunciation. Without renunciation, one cannot practice Jnana, Yoga, Tapasya and Vairagya. And the teacher cannot say something which he himself is not practicing. If the teacher himself is doing something against to the principles of Jnana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga, and if he is saying that you practice Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana Yoga, but I don't practice, but you practice, that is actually a very bad example. Apne acharya Prabhu Sabha Shikaila. The definition of acharya is oneself practices the sadhana properly and then teaches everyone else and sets an example to others to practice following in his footsteps. That's why four Kumaras wanted to remain celibate monks, because in order to practice Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Tapasya, and Vairagya, one cannot be in the household order. They need to be in the renounced order, either Brahmachari, Vanaprastha, or Grihastha. Sorry, Brahmachari, Vanaprastha, or Sannyasi. That's why they remained as celibate monks. And then, but Brahmaji wanted the celibates, how kitna log rahenge? Very minority, but majority will be Grihasthas. They also need to be taught properly. For teaching Grihasthas Nishkama Karma Yoga, then Brahmaji manifested 9 Manasa Putras. Angira, Pulasya, Kratu, Vashishta, Bhrugu, Marichi, Daksha, etc. I don't remember all the 9 names. In the 12th chapter, their names were mentioned. You can refer back. So the 9 Manasa Putras were produced as the teachers of Nishkama Karma Yoga, who are Grihasthas, who are married people, family people, who also become Prajapatis. They are the main Prajapatis. All of our Gotras have direct connection to these 9 personalities. So either they or their children's names will be our Gotras. So some of you must be having the Gotra of one of these great sages, Vashishta, Pulasya, Bhrugu, etc. So some of them will have the Gotra name, some of their next generation. For example, our family Gotra is Kashyapa. Kashyapa is the son of Marichi. And like that, many people are there. The people will have the Gotra in terms of Kaundinyasa, this, that, so many things. So they are either direct sons of Brahma or Brahma's grandsons. So they all became Prajapatis and they do both the things. They progenate and they also taught Nishkama Karma Yoga. And these greatest sages are there in the upper planetary system. They keep teaching us Nishkama Karma Yoga by personally practicing themselves, and they teach us, and through their instructions also they teach us for our well-being. So like that, Brahmaji also created many other beings, and then finally also in order to facilitate, of course, after this these people, the Brahmaji thought for a while. See, there is Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga for the renounced people. There is Nishkama Karma Yoga for householders. But there should be something for both common, which is made easy. And for there are so many restrictions to practice Nishkama Karma Yoga or Jnana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga. So many prerequisites required, so many restrictions are there. But for facilitating everyone's practice, then Lord Brahma produced Narada Muni, who is the teacher of Bhakti Yoga, which can be practiced by anyone and everyone. Bhakti can be practiced by anyone and everyone without any prerequisites. So Narada Muni is the ambassador of Bhakti Yoga. Then he also creates, in order to facilitate all these sadhanas, Brahmaji created different variety of shastras, starting with alphabets, ending with all the Vedas, Upavedas, Upanishads, Itihasas, Puranas. Everything is manifested from Brahma at the beginning of the day of Brahma. Then finally, Brahmaji wanted to conclude his creation. Abhi bahut ho gaya, abhi kar liya. Till now, I was creating everything through mystic potency. Now I should make a alternate arrangement. So how long I will create through mystic potency? There should be alternate and continuous prolonged arrangement which can continue the creation and maintenance together. That is producing offsprings to the combination of male and female forms. In order to begin this new process, Brahmaji then manifested the first couple, the two personalities, Swayambhu Manu and Shatarupa. And their appearance will be mentioned maybe couple of verses later. But before that, at one point of time, Brahma was feeling so much tired. As a result of that, all these snakes and variety of serpents all appeared. That is mentioned in a couple of verses. Afterwards, the creation of Swayambhu Manu will be mentioned. Dehena vai bhogavata
देहेन वै भोगवता
Shayano bahu chintaya
ज्ञानो बहुचिन्तया
Sarge nupachita krodhat
सर्गे अनुपचिते क्रोधात्
Pusta sarjaha tadvapu.
सर्जः तद्वपु. Translation. Once Brahma lay down with his body stretched at full length. He was very concerned that the work of creation had not proceeded space, and in a sullen mood, he gave up that body too. Thank you, Brahma.
Seeing that the creation was not satisfactory, Brahma lay down with the limbs spread out in a worried state. Then, when anger appeared, he rejected that body. So, because Brahma was doing so many things and things were not going the way he wanted and they were happening, but not in a fast pace. So, at one point of time, he was worried that the creation was not happening the way I want. It is going very slowly. He thought, how can I make the creation successful? While thinking thus, he lost his power of discrimination. Then great anger appeared. After that, by his mind, he rejected the body, that consciousness, while lying down. That body became snakes. Bhagavata means spreading out his feet and other limbs. Because he was unsatisfied and he was in worried state and he was also kind of angry. I am trying, I am putting all my endeavors, but still things are not happening. What is this? What's happening? Restless. So he lay down. In that lay down consciousness, in that laid down state, he gave up his body, he gave up his mentality. So the hands and legs of that person and the hair, body hairs, the head hairs, they all took the shape of different variety of snakes. Some of them big snakes, some of them small snakes, some of them having multiple hoods and so many things. So all the snakes and serpents all appeared during that time. So what kind of snakes and serpents appeared is mentioned in the text number 48. ये हि अय्यन्तामुताकेश हयस्ते न गजनिरे सर्पा प्रसर्पता क्रूरा नागा भोगोरुकन्दर
Translation. O dear Vidura, the hair that dropped from the body transformed into snake, and even while the body crawled along with its hands and feet contracted, there sprang from it ferocious serpents and nagas with their hoods expanded. Hare Krishna.
The hair which fell from that rejected body became Ahi, Sarpa, and Naga with hoods, which are all cruel. From that body, the hair which fell became Ahi, or snakes. The hands and feet that fell off became Sarpa, those which move on restricted feet. The snakes generally they don't have feet, but the legs and hands of Brahma they are cut off from his body and they became that took the shape of the snake. Just like some small kids we see, with the help of that hands and legs, they crawl on the surface of the ground. The snakes also crawl like that. Yeah, they can't walk because they don't have the legs and hands so much. Since they have roots and no hair, others call them Naga. Naga means hood. They have wide shoulders because of their hoods. They are also called Bhujangama. The snakes are all Bhujangama because they have wide shoulders. When they open their hoods, it appears to be like wide shoulders. So in that way. Because they have anger, they are all cruel by birth. And these are the different types of snakes. Because Brahma was angry, why things are not happening the way I want, why things are not happening very fast. He was angry. So because these snakes are getting their consciousness, by birth they are also very angry. So, before discussing the creation of Swayambhu Manu, what all Brahmaji are created till now, there is summary here. The creation of the Devata like superhuman beings as 8 divisions. The Lord performed these 10 creations. Deva Sarga Chasta Vido Sarga Se Vishwasukrita. Brahmaji manifested all these 8 types of creation along with the snakes under the instruction of the Supreme Lord. And whatever we have discussed in the last class and today's summary also we discussed. And what kind of consciousness, who all appeared, what kind of quality they possess, etc. We can see here. From mode of ignorance appeared Yakshas, Rakshasas. From mode of goodness appeared the Devatas. From mode of passion appeared Daityas and Danavas. From moonlight appeared Gandharvas, Apsaras. Laziness appeared Bhuta Preta Pishashas. And strength and invisibility appeared Sadhyas and Pitrus. From the ability of disappearance appeared Siddhacharana Vidyadharas. By looking in the mirror by his own reflection, consisting of men and women together, appeared Kinnaras and Purushas. And from worry and anger, from Brahma's hands, legs, and the body hairs appeared Ahi, Sarpa, Naga, with cruelty and anger. So these are the different variety of superhuman beings who are manifested by Brahma. Quickly put in one chart. So this is how the different variety of beings appeared from Brahma. I just mentioned. Finally, in order to conclude his creation, Brahmaji contemplating, meditating, and thinking a lot, he finally created Swayambhu Manu. So before going further for Swayambhu Manu's creation, any questions till now?
Prabhu, what's the difference between this this Sarpa, Naga? Generally, they all looks very same. Now, is there any difference actually?
So they have distinctions. Some of them run faster, some of them run slow. Like for example, some snakes we see around us, the python or cobra, they run fast. And the very big one, they walk slow. They can't run fast. And some snakes have multiple hoods. Some only have one hood, some have 10 hoods, 100 hoods. So these are different variety of snakes. Ahi, Sarpa, Naga. Some distinctions are there among them, but which distinction, which name is given, I don't know. But this is how we see in the Bhagavatam 5th canto. Some of them are called Sarpas, some of them are called Nagas. Nagas are said to be having many hoods, and Sarpas are said to be run very fast. Sarpa.
Okay.
In case of Ambarish Maharaj, we hear that shloka, Savai Mana Krishna Padar Vindayor Vacham Shivaikuntha Gunanu Varnane. So in that section, one line comes, which talks about we should use our legs to visit different temples of the Supreme Lord. Padanu Sarpanam. How? We should not walk, we should actually run. Just like a snake runs very fast, like that we should run to a temple of the Lord or a holy place of the Lord. That is the way we should use our legs. That's how it is mentioned in the 9th canto, Ambarish Maharaj section. That's where the comparison. Sarpa means which runs very fast. Sarpa. Even this comes when Yayati's father, what is his name? Yayati's father name?
No.
No. Nausha. Where Indra was cursed to, when after killing Vrtrasura, Indra was attacked by Chandala woman because of for killing a Brahmana, Brahmahatya. He was hiding himself in Manas Sarovar. That time, Nausha was made as Indra. So Nausha was doing very nicely as Indra. But eventually, because this is the nature of the material world, he became attracted to Indra's wife. He said, I am sitting on Indra's throne, and Indra's wife is Sachi, and you are supposed to be my wife also. She was very angry, and she approached all the sages. Whoever was Saptarishis during that time, she approached Saptarishis and told, please tell us what to do. And they told, okay, go, you are telling that you come to my Antapura being carried on a palanquin by Saptarishis. So then we'll do the needful. So she went to Nausha and told, okay, I'll accept you as my husband only if you come to my palace, my Antapura, being carried on a palanquin by Saptarush, carried by Saptarushis. So he was on the clouds. He wanted to go as early as possible and he requested Saptarushis, he ordered Saptarushis to carry him and they were carrying him. And he was telling, Sar, pasar, 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 take me fast, take me fast. So, but they were being sages, they are not accustomed to carrying something. So they were going slow. He became very angry and began to kick from behind Angira Rishi and other Rishis. And the sages took it as offensive and they cursed him. You are calling us, I mean, you are making us carry you and you are also telling us carry fast, fast. You are behaving like a snake to run to with the intention to go fast. May you become snake. Like that they cursed. The Nausha became a python afterwards. So like that. But he begged forgiveness and he was told that you will be delivered by Yudhishthir Maharaj, one of your descendants. When Yudhishthir Maharaj comes in touch with you, you will be delivered. So like that. Sarpa means the fast running snakes. So like that.
One more question, Prabhu.
Yes,
So these
Master.
creations, this all creations are happening the same day, or it is taking how much time it took actually?
Sursiddhanta says that all Brahma's creation, since the time he appeared from the top of the lotus flower, till the time Swayambhuva Manu and Satarupa appeared, the proper order of the Srishti has been established. It took around 3.5 Chaturyugas.
Okay.
Almost, it's a pretty long time. It did not happen one time because for every activity Brahma would do, he would perform tapasya for hundreds of years. Though it is not mentioned in the Bhagavatam this chapter very evidently, but it is understood. Because Lord himself says, it is by tapasya I do everything. It is by tapasya I create, maintain and destroy. You also do tapasya and do the needful. So to begin his activity, he performed 1,000 years tapasya. Then, so for everything, he was doing tapasya for considerable amount of time. As a result of that, overall thing took a lot of time.
Okay. One more question, Prabhu. If we see here, like for example, I read somewhere that during, because we are talking about the creation, means about the different living being. During the creation, Brahma also created, like in a Tamsa, the Tamasic literature came. In the Rajasic time, the Rajasic literature came. So they also aligned here, or they are mentioned separately?
No, that's what I will also, I have a slide about that. I just briefly mentioned because after this, the creation of the 4 Kumaras and creation of the 9 Manasaputras, then Narada Muni, and then the creation of all the Vedic literatures, which includes everything. All the literatures we have, their origin is in Brahma. Initially, they are manifested from Brahma and they are still continuing among us. So that literature includes all the different variety, I mean, which are attracted or which are meant for the or instructing people in the mode of ignorance, meant for people in the mode of passion. Actually, we should not call the literature to be tamasic. The literature is always literature. Literature is always transcendental only. But the literature is meant for the people in the tamasic nature. So actually calling the literature to be tamasic literature is not a correct word. Literature, but the literature is meant for people in the mode of good ignorance, in the mode of passion, the mode of goodness. It's like that. Like for math student, math book is there. For physics student, physics book is there. It is not that physics is in Sattvic and math is in Rajasic and something else in Tamasic. Not like that. Everything is literature.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. Yes, Mataji, you are saying something?
Yes, Prabhuji, in the animal category, the reptiles are there, and here again the snakes have come. So, what is the difference between them?
Their reptiles are there, but those reptiles and all, if you remember, we saw that snakes thing is not mentioned. Their reptiles were there. The reptile example is given the lizard, some kinds of insects and all. And snakes altogether are very different category of species. We have small snakes around us, but within our universe there are big snakes are there. Because these snakes, which are created along with the superhuman beings, and these snakes are also as powerful as the devatas. See here,
Okay.
whatever snakes we are talking, these things are not the snakes which are around us, which we see once in a while. We may see some cobras or small snakes and water snakes and all that. Now we are not talking about those snakes. Those snakes come in the category of reptiles, and these snakes will stay not in the Bhuloka. They stay in the Patala Lokas. We have 7 Patala Lokas: Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala. And these snakes which are created by Brahma here, along with superhuman beings, they reside in the Patala Loka and Mahatala Loka. If they come to our place, we can't survive. There are Chinese movies are there, na? These Chinese people make movies like Anaconda, that kind of snakes they are.
Okay, Prabhuji. Yeah, got it.
At max, we may get to see sometimes in Python, in African countries and all. May not be so much in India, but in African countries, maybe in India, some forest, maybe I don't know. There you
Yeah,
may see
huge.
some Python and all, big, huge one. But these snakes are much, much bigger than that.
Okay, Prabhuji.
And these snakes also endowed with the same powers all these people possess. Whatever power the devatas have, these snakes also have the same powers.
Oh. And Prabhuji,
So-
what is Nagaloka?
Nagaloka means Patala Loka. Patala Loka is called Nagaloka. That is the Loka, that is the full abode is given for the Nagas. They'll reside there.
Okay. Okay. Prabhuji.
Fifth canto will discuss about them elaborately.
Sure.
So, like
Hare
that.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Vidyadhar, Charan, Kim Purusha Lok, where are they staying? Below Swargaloka?
They are all
or,
in Boar Loka. See, I'll tell you
Loka?
once again. These devatas, where are the devatas? Sattva-guna. They are staying in the Swargaloka. Okay? And then Asuras. This is Asuras are staying in the Bilaswargas. And Nagas also staying in the Bilaswargas. The remaining 6 people, they all stay in the Boar Loka. So Gandharvas, Apsaras, Sadhyas and Pitrus, Siddhacharna, Vidyadharas, Kinnara, Kimpurushas, Bhutapreta, Pishashas, Yaksharaksasas, all these 6 category people stay in the Boar Loka. Even in Patala Lokas also 1 Loka. Hare Krishna Mataji, please mute. Even in Patala Lokas, 1 Loka is exclusively dedicated for Yaksharaksasas and Bhutapeta Pishashas. These 2 also stay in the Boar Loka as well as one of the Patala Lokas. So later on we discuss in the 5th canto, we will discuss about where they stay and all elaborately. Because these are all superhuman beings, they are supposed to stay in the superhuman abodes, not in the human abodes. So, other devotees, anyone has any question?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, if a certain devotee had asked you about the timeline of creation, if you could please repeat what you said, please.
I was telling that since the time of Brahma's appearance on top of the lotus flower, all the way up to the creation of Swayambhu Manu, which we are discussing in this current verse today, now, it took a time of almost 3.5 to 4 Chaturyugas. Satyatreta, Dwaparakali, Satyatreta, Dwaparakali, Satyatreta, Dwaparakali, and Satyatreta. That much time it took. 3.5 Chaturyugas almost. 1 Chaturyuga is equal to 43 lakh 20,000 years into 3.5. Whatever the timeline, that much time Brahma took to create all these people, which are mentioned in chapter 10, chapter 12, and chapter 20.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay?
Yeah.
Even for you also, if you want to create your career, how much time it will take?
Like CA took 5 years. Yeah.
How many?
CA took 5 years. 5.
Nine. It will take at least 25 years.
Yeah. To complete CA took 5 years. Yeah. To build a
No,
career.
since the time you join in the nursery or LKG and till the time you will take your offer letter, the whole thing you should consider. You cannot say, I directly got job. 1 year I went for some coaching center and I attended interview and I got job. No. It starts the day you enter the school.
Yes,
So it is
Prabhu,
like
correct.
that. It is not like playing cricket match.
Yeah.
Even if you want to select in Ranji Trophy or whatever the within India, any team, you need to practice in your home and in your gully and in your local stadium and all. How much time it takes, you know better. So it is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Please pray for me.
It's not that okay. Today morning I went for selection and they saw me nicely and they selected me. It took only 2 hours. You can't say like that.
Yeah, correct.
So Brahma's creation is also like that.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Other devotees? Anyone? Okay, fine. We'll go ahead. Satmanam manyamana
आत्मानमन्यमानः
कृतकृत्यम इवात्मभू
कृत्यकृत्यपुतामिभो
तदा मनुं ससर्जान्ते
तदा मनुं सगर्गान्ते
मनसा लोकभावनान्.
मनसा लोकभावनाम्. Translation. One day Brahma, the self-born, the first living creatures, fell as if the object of his life had been accomplished. At that time, he evolved from his mind the Manus, who promote the welfare activities of the universe.
Thinking himself successful, finally Brahma created by his mind Manu and others for increasing the population. So after creating, we can say the prototype or specimen. Basically, after Brahma manifested 14 variety of lokas within the lotus coming from Garbhodaksha Vishnu's navel, he thought, let me at least have 14 variety of beings. If not 14 major varieties and many sub varieties. So thinking that Brahmaji manifested all the specimen species, all the prototype species, the initial set of species. Then he thought that now I need to make a different way of continuing the creation so that the creation will continue further. So with that thought, he created Manus. So the creation of Manus have two things. We will discuss in the next verse what is the second thing. But first thing is how the system will continue automatically without having a person had to perform severe tapasya and then contemplate upon what to create, how to create and all. Let it go on in a automated mode, autopilot mode or something like that. Of course, that also requires some contemplation, endeavor and all. But still, whatever it is, a natural and a general way of creation. So when you were thinking like that and thinking that, I think with this, I'll complete my endeavor to create anything because I'm going to set up a automatic system. So things will carry on normally, automatically. So Brahmaji felt, I'm done with my creation, I'm successful. My dear Lord, I have done your service. I'm done with my seva. So when he felt like that, in that feel happy consciousness appeared Manu along with his wife Shatarupa. When Brahma desired to create, a couple appeared and he became blissful, thinking that his creation was complete. The Manus appeared and took the form of human for completing the creation. So the Manu, when Brahma was feeling I'm complete, so Brahma gave himself to the last creation. So Brahma himself is in the human Manushakruti. That Manushakruti and Manusha, this thing, the contemplation and all occupied by Swayambhu Manu, and he became the leader of the human beings. As Manus are mentioned here, at this time only one Swayambhu Manu was appeared. Other Manus will eventually will appear. Basically, the Manus will have this responsibility of continuing the creation, and also they have one more important responsibility. We will discuss that in the next verse when that comes. So with the creation of Manu, Lord Brahma is establishing a different process of creation. The creation of the Manus took at the end. Sasar Jante. This is the last creation of Brahma. The Satar Jagri and the Tamishra, Mata Tamishra Madhikrit. In the 12th chapter, it is mentioned that at the very beginning, Brahmaji created the 5 Ajnana Vrittis, Tama, Moha, Mahamoha, Tamishra, and the Tamishra. But this is the last creation of Brahma. Therefore, the creation of the sages, which will be described after this, actually took place before the creation of Manu. So, Manu is the last creation, and the details mentioned in the 12th chapter, they all appeared after the creation of snakes and before the creation of Manu. That is the understanding. So what is the specialty of Manu's creation? Tebhyaso sruja swiyam
Tebhyaso sujat swiyam
puram purusham atmavan
puram purusham atmavan
tan drishtva ye pura srushta
tan drishtva ye pura srishta
prashashamum prashashamshuhu prajapatim.
prashashamsu prajapatim. Translation: The self-possessed creator gave them his own human form. On seeing the Manus, those who had been created earlier, the demigods, the Gandharvas, and so on, applauded Brahma, the Lord of the universe. Hare Krishna.
Brahma gave to Manu his own human form. Those who were created previously glanced at Manu and began to praise Brahma. So Brahma was also happy. Finally, Brahma gave himself to Manu. So Manu occupied the physical appearance as well as the mental disposition of Brahma. What is the mental disposition of Brahma? Brahma's service is to create and also to maintain. Whatever one creates, one maintains also. That is the disposition of Manu. That's why Manu is the king. It is the nature of king is to produce and maintain. That mentality kings occupy from Brahma himself. So Brahma gave his own human form to Manu means Brahma gave his physical appearance as well as the mental disposition also to Manu. So Manus have great responsibility of creating and maintaining everything under his protection. So, but by the way, Manu's creation is last. So Brahma himself became happy by creating Manu, and more than Brahma, the others became double happy by looking at Manu, because now they found some hope in Manu. What is that? We will see in the next verse. And then they are looking at Brahma, they are glorifying Brahma. My dear father, you have done the best thing that you have not done till now. Why it is best? The creation of Swayambhu, Manu and Saturupa is the best thing according to all the great sages, all the devatas who are created till now. Why? They are saying now. Aho eta jagasrishta
Aho eta jaga srushta
sukrutam batate kritam
krutam vadate krutam
pratishtita kriya yasmin
tishtita kriya yasmin
sakam annam madamahe.
akam annam madamahe. Translation: They prayed, O Creator of the universe, we are glad what you have produced is well done. Since ritualistic acts have now been established soundly in this human form, we shall all share the sacrificial oblations. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Now they are glorifying Brahma, saying that you have done the best thing which you have not done till now by creating Manu. Why? Oh, creator of the universe, you have done excellent work in creating Manu. By this creation in the form of Manu, the sacrificial actions will be established and we will be able to eat the remnants of sacrifice together. So, our dear father, Brahmaji, you have created all of us. But you have not made an arrangement for our survival in the form of our daily food. But by creating Manu, our food is guaranteed. We will get our food at regular intervals without fail. We can survive with the food in the form of oblations offered by Manu whenever he conducts an yajna. Because in addition to creating and maintaining, of course, in addition to creating, the maintaining is the another important principle of dharma, important dharma of Manu. Maintenance is done by performance of yajna. By performing yajna, Manu will not only maintain the human beings who are his citizens, Manu will also maintain the entire creation that has been done by Brahma. So Brahma created everyone, but Manu is maintaining everyone throughout the universe by sacrifice. O creator of the universe, creation of Manu by you is well done. In creating Manu, the action such as sacrifice will be established. Since Manu will protect everything, we will eat the offerings of food together. All of us will get food by the sacrifice performed by Manu. Same thing is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita also. Lord Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita, Sahayajna praja sushta purovacha prajapati anena prasiddhasvam etavosti ishta kamaduk. Long ago, along with Yajna, Lord Brahma created different variety of creatures qualified for offering to Lord Vishnu. So Lord Brahma had created all the variety of living entities, especially concluding with Swayambhu, Manu and Chaturupa. And Lord Brahma told everyone, especially Swayambhu Manu, he told, increase more and more the population by this dharma or by this yajna. May this yajna bestow all desired enjoyment, Ishta Kamaduk. So he told that, my dear Manu and all my dear Devatas, in cooperation, please perform this yajna. As a result of that, all of you live in prosperity. And exclusively that responsibility has been given to Manu only. The principal service of Manu or the king in general, any king, is to perform yajna. It is by yajna, not only himself is survived, the people in this kingdom is survived, the animals in the forest are survived, even all the devatas all the way up to the rishis are survived by this yajna only. If yajna is not performed regularly, all the people will go hungry. The same thing Lord Krishna himself will say in the Bhagavad Gita, same chapter. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyad anna sambhava. Especially people like us who are living along with us in our vicinity, we need food, but our food comes from the rain, and rain comes from the performance of yajna, and yajna is accomplished by the execution of varnashrama dharma. That's why it is called dharma or yajna. So the king will perform yajna. Everyone no need to perform. Everyone need to help the king to perform yajna by executing their respective varnashram dharmas. They will take part in executing their varnashram dharmas, and they all do something to perform yajna, and the king will lead the yajna. King will sponsor the performance execution of yajna, which will by the performance of the yajna, there will be rain. By rain, everyone is survived. In our vicinity, we human beings would get fruit grains from rain, and also the animals will get their food in the form of leaves and all, leaves and plants and all. And carnivorous animals will eat herbivorous animals when they are fat and fleshy. So like that, everyone will be survived by rains. All creatures arise from food. Food arises from rain. Rain arises from sacrifice. Sacrifice arises from prescribed actions. Therefore, one should perform yajna because it causes the cyclic movement in the universe. Everyone in the universe will be maintained by the performance of yajna by the Manu. It is the Manu who provides food to all the living entities around us in the form of rain. But when yajna is performed, when we chant Idam Indraya Swa Idam Namama, Indra will get his food. Idam Varunaya Swa Idam Namama, Varuna will get his food. Otherwise, they are supposed to starve. That is how we have to understand. So yajna will provide everything needed by everyone in the entire universe. So it is the principal duty of the king of the entire Bhumandala, the Manu and his representative, continuously perform yajna. As a result of that, people here and the people in the higher lokas will remain prosperous. That's why we see in Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavatam and any other Puranas, all the kings are keep performing yajna. Even Sri Ram, Lord Ram, for those 11,000 years or 13,000 years during which he was ruling over Ayodhya, ruling the entire Bhumandala, even though Mother Sita was not there, with the golden pratima of Mother Sita, he was continuously performing yajna. Because performing yajna is the important duty of the king. Any other king's pastimes you read, Yajna is a continuous activity that is going on always, because it is yajna which makes the kingdom prosperous. It is the yajna which makes the devatas prosperous. If you stop performing yajna, the devatas will become weak and the asuras become powerful, and the asuras will defeat the devatas, and the asuras become the rulers of the universe, and they will come and they will put a order. No one should perform yajna. They will destroy the yajna first. They will destroy the yajna and the performers of yajna next, so that no one will perform yajna, and devatas are not at all regain their power, and they will never able to fight with the asuras, and the devatas will never come to the rule, and then that's all. The universe will remain in the control of the asuras. That's why asuras always destroy the yajnas and the performers of yajnas and the things which cooperate yajna, such as cows and all the other things, etc. So in that way. So that's how Manu was created. And then the last two verses, in order to summarize, okay, Manu was created, but before Manu, some important personalities are also created. Who are they? The four Kumaras and Narada Muni. Their details are mentioned in the next two verses. Tapasa Vidyaya Yukto
Tapasa vidaya yukto
Yogena Susamadhina
yogena susamadhina
Rishin Rishi Rishikesha
Rishin Rishi Shikesha
Sasarja Bhimata Praja.
Sarjada Bhimata Praja. Translation. Having equipped himself with austere penances, adoration, mental concentration, and observation in devotion, accompanied by dispersion and having controlled his senses, Brahma, the self-born living creatures, evolved great sages as his beloved sons.
So endowed with austerity, Brahmaji feeling, okay, I am filled with lot of austerity. Worship means bhakti. Ashtanga yoga, it is there na? Tapasa is austerity. Vidya is bhakti. Yoga is Ashtanga yoga. Su Samadhina means jnana and vairagya. Controlling his senses, Brahma created the sages, his dear offsprings. Austerity, yoga, jnana, vairagya. The four Kumaras represent four sadhanas: tapasya, vairagya, jnana, and yoga. And bhakti, that is vidya, that is represented by Narada Muni. Narada Muni, the representative of bhakti. So from these four abilities, five abilities, Brahmaji created the five personalities who teach five aspects of vidya. This describes Brahma's creation of the sages when he was engaged in worship. Vidya means by worship, Yogena means Ashtanga yoga, Susamadhina means by jnana and vairagya. Controlling his senses, Brahma created the sages such as the four Kumaras and Narada Muni, who will teach one and all the respect to five sadhanas: tapasya, vairagya, jnana, Ashtanga yoga, and bhakti. Like that. This is the last verse of the chapter. Tebhyश्चैकैकशासस्य
सैवैषैच कैकाशः
तेभ्यश्चैकैकशाश्वस्य
ते वै चैकैकशः स्वस्य
देहस्यांशम् अदा अज
देहश्यामसम् अदा अजा
यत्तत्समाधियोगर्दि
यत्तत् समाधियोगर्दि
तपो विद्या विरक्तिमात्.
तपो विद्या विरक्तिमात्. Translation. On each one of these sons, the inborn creator of universe gave a part of his own body, which was characterized by deep meditation, mental concentration, supernatural power, austerity, adoration, and renunciation. Hare Krishna.
Brahma gave separate portions of his body endowed with knowledge, jnana, Ashtanga yoga, Ashtasiddhis, austerity tapasya, worship means bhakti, detachment means vairagya, to each of the various ages. So basically, he has given tapasya to one of the four Kumaras, Ashtanga Yoga to one of the four Kumaras, Vairagya to one of the four Kumaras, and Jnana to another of the four Kumaras, and Vidya means Bhakti to Narada Muni. So he has given them those aspects of himself, and they became the teachers of their respective sadhanas. This verse describes what portion of his body he gave to the different sages. Those portions of his body which had knowledge, yoga, siddhi, austerity, worship, and detachment, he gave to the various sages. After this, Lord Shiva appeared, then Marichi and others, according to the description in the 12th chapter. So, like that. So, in this way, we saw in this section of the third canto what all Brahma had created in the beginning of the creation. Thus, in the 10th, 12th, and 20th chapters, sometimes the events are in sequence and sometimes some elements are omitted or put in a different order. The proper sequence of Brahma's creation is as follows. First of all, the 5 Ajnana Vrittis appeared through Brahma. Then Brahmaji created different variety of animals with 5 giants. Animals with 5 giants means aquatics. First Brahma created aquatics, and then the creation of trees and plants, immobile beings, achara. Then the creation of snakes, reptiles, insects and all. Then the creation of the cows and buffaloes, which also includes birds and beasts. Then Brahma created the Yakshas, Rakshasas, Asuras, Kinnaras, Kimpurushans, 8 kinds of superhuman beings, which we discussed in the current chapter. Then there is the creation of the 4 Kumaras, then the creation of 11 Rudras or 11 Shivas, and then the creation of Marichi and others, the Manasaputras, the 9 Manasaputras, 9 Prajapatis and Narada Muni, and then the creation of human beings, and finally the Manus were created who protect everything by establishing the sacrifice. All these people who were created before the creation of Manu, they depend upon Manu for their survival. It is only when Manu performs yajna, all these people will get their whatever they need for their survival. If Manu stops, Manu means king. If king stops performing yajna, all these people will start starving. So everyone will depend upon these people for their survival. And then after the creation of Manu, Brahma became completely successful and completely happy. My dear Lord, I have done my creation. Thank you very much for engaging me in your service. So now the creation will go in automatic mode. How? At the time of creation of Manu, Manu alone was not created. Manu was born along with a woman. The male and female were born together. And the creation will continue with a combination of male and female forms starting from Manu's creation. So Brahmaji established a new process of creation from there on. So Swayambhu Manu married Satarupa. As a result of their marriage, there appeared 5 children: Priyavrata, Uttanapada, Akuti, Devahuti, and Prasuti. Akuti was given in marriage to sage Ruchi, one of the Brahma's sons. Akuti married Prajapati Ruchi. From them there appeared Lord Yajna and goddess Lakshmi Dakshina. And from their marriage there appeared 12 Tushitas. And like that the creation was continuing. And Devahuti married Kardama Muni, and they gave birth to 9 daughters and 1 son. These 9 daughters were married to 9 Manasa Putras. So here, the Marichi and others. And they gave birth to so many different varieties of species. That's why these Marichi and all, they became Prajapatis, and they also became the leaders of our lineage Gotras. And then Prasuti married Prajapati Daksha, who gave birth to 16 daughters. They were given to different personalities and they produced many children. So from these people, the creation is getting continued by the combination of male and female. Now Brahma no need to sit and perform austerities for hundreds of years and create a different variety of living entities. The things are happening on a autopilot mode. And all these people are also maintained by Manu's Yajna. Now Manu is not performing, but Manu representative. The kings are supposed to do the Yajna. When Yajna is performed, everyone is maintained. So that is how it is indicated. Yeah, yes, we are done with this chapter. Any questions till now?
Prabhuji, now that we had finished 4 lessons, 4 chapters, there will be test, I hope. 16, we
But,
finished till 13. So now 17 to
it's okay. It's okay. That is fine. Test
Eight.
will be there. Yeah, we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
discuss about this at the end of the class. But any questions?
Only this, Prabhuji, can you please repeat about this Swayambhav Manu and the creation of all that? I couldn't follow.
See, Swayambhu Manu's creation and all, just Brahmaji was thinking that I need to establish a different variety of method by which the creation will continue in a automatic way. So while thinking like that, one male and female appeared, Manu and Shatarupa, Swayambhu and Shatarupa, and Brahmaji thought that okay, these two people will continue the creation for the rest of eternity. So he gave his own physical form and mental disposition. So physical form means human-like form to Manu and Shatarupa, and mental disposition is to maintain one and all. Like parents, when they beget children, the parents take the complete responsibility of taking care of the children. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So Brahma created all these people. It is Brahma's responsibility to take care of all of them. But instead of Brahma taking care of all these beings himself, he has given that task to Manu. So Manu has taken the task of maintaining all these creations as a service to Lord Brahma. So that's what we have to understand. So when Manu performs yajna, whether Manu or Manu's representative, any king performs yajna, everyone is maintained. When yajna is not performed, all of us slowly will be ruined. So yajna should go on continuously.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, these Kinnaras and Kimpurushas are superhuman beings, but
Yes.
here we see these eunuchs and all those people, transgender people. So what are they?
See, transgender also part of human beings only. They are not part of superhuman beings. See, I'll tell you one thing. Just like the humans are one species, the other species which are there in the rest of the universe, we have the same thing in a small quantity at our place also. Even the Devaloka is meant for Devatas. But sometimes the human beings are also so pious, because of their piety, they will go to Devaloka and they will also become part of Devaloka family. But they are human beings only. Like for example, Arjuna went to Svargaloka, he stayed there for 5 years, according to our time period, 5 years. He became one of the Devatas, but he did not become Devata completely, but he is a human being, but he is living with the Devatas like Devata. And at other times, even after that, some people, because of their piety, they go to Devaloka, they became like Devatas, but they don't get the responsibility of Devatas. But they have all rights to live like the Devatas. They have access to all the facilities in Devaloka. Those who go to Sarga after death. In the past life, they were human beings. Because the piety they did in the human species, they have been to Devaloka. When their piety is over, again they come back to human loka only. Because they are mainly human beings.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhuji.
So like that, some species like the snakes, Bhuta Preta Pishashas, these eunuchs are all along with us also. These are small portions.
Okay. And Prabhuji,
I'm not saying here, I'm
went
just
to
that example is not like saying that okay, the devatas have come to humans assuming these forms. I'm not sure, not like that. That example may not be appropriate, but I'm just giving. Just like some humans can live in their area, that species of can live along with us also. Some bhutas can live along with us, some snakes, and some this, some that also.
Yes, got it, Prabhuji.
Other devotees have any question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, you mentioned that it's mentioned that Jnana, Yoga, Vairagya, and Tapasya are given to each of the 4 Kumaras to preach all around. So the aspect of bhakti is not there in Kumara Sampradaya.
See, Prabhuji, I told once this example I given. I'll tell you one thing. Bhakti is like the invisible thread, as Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Sutre manigana iva. In a pearl necklace, outside you only see the pearl, but the pearl remain in the garland in that necklace only as long as the thread is there. If there is no thread, can you keep 10 pearls together in a particular order in the and they are hanging in the neck? Huh?
No.
Then what do you call that? You call it as a pearl necklace or you call it as a thread necklace?
Pearl necklace. Okay, got you.
So like that.
Yeah.
This is one example. The second example is like bhakti is like the breathing. So you are a human being. So when you want to introduce yourself, how do you introduce yourself?
You tell about your profession, occupation, or your yeah.
So first of all, you say, my name is so and so.
Yeah.
I am the son of so and so parents. I am coming from so and so place. I was born and brought up in so and so place, and I did my education from so and so school, college, university, and so and so. Currently, I am working in so and so company, that so and so with so and so designation, etc. All these things you tell, and you say that these are my specialties and all these things. These are my qualifications, qualities, and all these things. So all these things are either connected to your gross body or connected to your subtle body. Okay?
Correct.
Karma yoga is like the gross body. Jnana yoga and Ashtanga yoga is like the subtle body. So when somebody says that, okay, this you see this person, his name is Jayakishan Lolekar and he is from South Mumbai and he lives in Andheri and his father is so and so. That means they are giving the identity of your gross body.
Correct.
So we are talking about your Karma yoga. Karma yoga means external occupation only, but we are not talking about inside thing. And second thing, when somebody says that, okay, he is a well-educated person, is an engineer and is very much expert in civil engineering and he is expert in designing interiors and all these things. These are your abilities, your intellectual ability and mental capacity and all these things. They are like connected to subtle body. But does anybody will introduce you saying that, okay, you see, this person is breathing?
No.
Huh? He is breathing
No.
and is still alive? Something like that anybody will say?
No.
That means no one will say specifically like that he is breathing. That means you are expected to breathe. If somebody is introducing you, means matlab you are still alive and you are breathing, by the way. Like that, when you say something in this world, bhakti is automatically there within that. Without bhakti, nothing exists in this world. Bhakti is like the breathing. Even a person may not perform karma yoga or may not perform jnana yoga, but bhakti yoga should be there always. Without bhakti yoga, a person's existence is neglected. Some part of bhakti, if not completely, that is automatically will be there in a way, directly or indirectly. Even a hardcore atheist also will have some bhakti within him. You cannot deny. How it is, it may be directly or it may be indirectly. Bhakti is like the breathing, bhakti is like the invisible thread. But by looking at external activities of a person, we may say he is a karma yogi, he is a jnana yogi, he is ashtanga yogi, he is a atheist, he is this, he is that. We may say all these things. But bhakti is an integral part within everything. Without that, one's existence is not at all considered.
So for propagation of direct bhakti, Narad Muni was introduced.
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Got you. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay. If there are no questions, we'll continue with the next chapter. We'll begin today and we'll continue in the next week also. So the next chapter will be discussed about Swayambhu Manu. So Swayambhu Manu is considered to be one of the important person. One of the important person. He has got a lot of great responsibility. So, and more than that, He is also one of the great devotees. Not only he, in his lineage, all great devotees appeared. Because we have studied in chapter 13, when Swayambhu Manu, after his appearance, he approached Brahma. My dear father, please tell me what I am supposed to do. So Lord Brahma repeated the words of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Brahma told, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu told me to create the living entities who will be obedient to me. So my dear son, I am very much happy that you are very much obedient to me. I have become successful in creating you. Just the way you are obedient to me, you remain obedient to Supreme Lord. How? You take care of the human beings who will be living on the Bhuloka by becoming the king of the Bhuloka, and also worship the Supreme Lord by performing yajna. By doing these two things, you will please me, and as well as you will please the Supreme Lord. So basically, Brahmaji is telling Manu to exhibit his obedience to himself and Supreme Lord by taking care of the human beings, by becoming their king, and by executing yajna, which is nothing but the worship of the Supreme Lord. So as a result of that, Swayambhu Manu's lineage, the Supreme Lord appears again and again, again and again. The Supreme Lord appeared 6 times in his lineage. That's why he and the generations are glorious. So Vidura will ask, I want to hear about Swayambhu Manu and his children, because in their family the Supreme Lord appeared again and again. So because they are so special, I want to hear about them more and more. In that way, this chapter will continue. In the 21st chapter, the Lord, satisfied with Kardama's austerity and prayers, describes his future marriage. Swayambhu Manu arrives with his wife and daughter to the ashram of Kardama Muni. So, in that way, we'll discuss. And also, in the beginning of the 5th canto, of course, from one side, we are going to hear about Swayambhu Manu and his descendants, wherein all the great devotees were there, wherein the Supreme Lord appeared again and again. That is one theme of these further chapters. But the most important theme of the further chapters is, till now, starting from chapter 5 to 20, we primarily discussed about the process of creation. How the creation appeared through Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and then Brahma. The Vishnu's creation is primary creation, Brahma's creation is secondary creation. And then finally, by creating Swayambhu Manu, Lord Brahma established the tertiary creation. The tertiary creation is called Nitya Srishti, daily creation. So afterward, the creation will continue on daily. Every day we see around us, people are getting born, different species, the human beings, dogs, animals, all these different species are getting born. The creation will continue to happen till the end of the day of Brahma. That is Nitya Srishti, third process. And then, starting from 21 to 33, we will discuss the purpose of creation. What is the purpose of this material creation? So Bhagavatam in various places it says that there is a twofold purpose of creation. One is because Jiva has a kind of inquisitiveness or curiosity or adventurous propensity to exhibit his free will away from the Supreme Lord. So by creating unlimited material universes, material Brahmandas, the Supreme Lord facilitating for such kind of inquisitive, adventurous and curious jivas a facility to exhibit their free will, their ambitions. And for that, the material universes have been created. But by some unfortunate condition, Jiva will come here and Jiva becomes attracted to this material world and they want to stay back here only. But that is not the purpose with which the material world has been created. So Lord has created this material world just to provide a temporary opportunity for them to exercise their free will. So, but after coming here, they completely lost track of their original place. So in order to remind us that our original place is something different from this material world, and we need to go back. If we want to go back, we need to follow a particular rules and regulations, a particular process. We need to prepare ourselves with the same mindset as that of the spiritual world. For that, we need to follow a proper, appropriate sadhana. So in order to teach us that sadhana, we had the sages, such as 4 Kumaras, Narada Muni and 9 Manasaputras, to teach us Nishkama Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. They are there. That is also mentioned in the previous chapters. And to teach us these sadhanas, the books are also given by Brahma in the form of 4 Vedas, 18 Mahapuranas, 18 minor Lagu Puranas, and 4 Upavedas, 6 Vedangas, and Dharma Shastras, Nyaya Shastras, all the variety of scriptures and all, everything has been given. So we have Acharyas, we have Shastras. Both the Acharyas and Shastras are talking about Nishkama Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. And finally, to go back to Godhead. And now, what are these 4 sadhanas? All the Vedic literatures talk about them elaborately. But the essence of all Vedic literatures, which is nothing but these 4 sadhanas, is briefly summarized by Lord Kapila in this section of 3rd canto. So it is Lord Kapila, who is one of the expansions of Supreme Lord, who is giving us an essence of all the Vedic literatures for us to remind that, oh, my dear sons, all of you are not supposed to be here. All of you belong to that original world. Some of you have been stuck up here. If you want to go back, you please follow this particular training process by which you train yourself so that you can become accustomed to live in that original place. Where currently you are accustomed to live in this temporary place. We have to reach what you can say, we have to reorient your state of consciousness. So practicing the sadhanas is a training of reorientation training. So that is being spoken in the second part of the 3rd canto in brief summary. So who is teaching us? Lord Kapila. Now who is Lord Kapila? Lord Kapila is the son of Kardamuni and Devahuti. Who is Devahuti? Devahuti is the daughter of Swayambhu Manu. Who is Kardama? Kardama is the son of Brahma. How these two got married, how Lord Kapila was born, that will be mentioned in the first 4 chapters. Hare Krishna, Amit Prabhu, Amit, just so please mute. So that is mentioned in this particular section. The appearance of Lord Kapila in 4 chapters and teachings of Lord Kapila, which is the essence of all Vedic literatures in the next remaining chapters, which briefly summarize the 4 sadhanas: Nishkama Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. So from now on, we'll be going on a different track. So in that way, yeah. So this is a big chapter. 56 verses are there, and we will discuss. Yeah, in between, somebody want to say something? Any question? Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji,
Yes, Mother.
Hare Krishna. What are the 4 yogas you said now? Nishkama Karma Yoga,
Jnana Yoga,
Bhakti Yoga, and Ashtanga Yoga.
Ashtanga Yoga and Bhakti Yoga.
Okay.
Not Bhakti Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. You should always remember the proper sequence. Nishkama Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. They are in the increasing order.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Vidura Uvacha.
Vidura Uvacha.
One. Swayambhuvasya Chamanor.
Swayambhuvasya Chamanor.
Vamsha Paramasattama.
Vamsa Paramasammata.
Kathayatam Bhagavan Yatra.
Kathayatam Bhagavan Yatra.
Maitunye Naidire Praja.
Maithunen Adhire Praja. Translation: Vidura said, the line of Swayambhava Manu was most esteemed O worshipful sage, I beg you, give me an account of this race whose progeny multiplied through sexual intercourse. Correct.
So Vidura is asking, Oh Maitreya, please describe the lineage of the highly respected Swayambhu Manu, in which the population increased through the combination of male and female. So Brahma established a new process of creation. So now Vidura wants to know, from this new process, who all appeared? Please tell me. So we have heard that in the 12th chapter already told, Brahmaji already told Brahma, Maitreya Muni already told that from the marriage of Swayambhu Manu and Satarupa, 5 children appeared. And their marriage is also mentioned in the 12th chapter. So Vidura kind of replying that. Priyavratotana Padau
प्रियवर्तो तुत्तानपादौ
Sutau Swayambhu Vasya Vai
सुतौ स्वयम्भुवस्य वै
Yatta Dharmam Jugupata
यथा धर्मं जुगुपता
Sapta Dvipavatim Mahim.
सप्तद्वीपवतीं महिम्. The two great sons of Swayambhuva Manu, Priyavarta and Uttanapada, ruled the world, consisting of 7 islands, just according to religious principles.
We should describe how the two sons of Swayambhu Manu, Priyavrata and Uttanapada, protected the earth with they protected the entire Bhumandala with 7 dvipas. So because Swayambhu Manu was given an order by Brahma, and Brahma told that you and your children should follow the same thing. So he wants to know how Swayambhu Manu and his children followed the same thing. So in that way, describe how they protected the Bhumandala without trespassing the principles of Dharma. And then this is about sons, and next about daughters. Tasya Vaiduhita Brahman
Tasya vai duhita Brahman
Devahutiti Vishruta
Devahutiti Vishruta
Patni Prajapati Rugda
Patni Prajapatir Mukta
Kardamasya Tvayanaga.
Kardamasya Tvayanaga. O
O
holy
Brahmana.
Brahman, O sinless one, you have spoken of his daughter, known by the name Devahuti, as wife of the sage Kardama, the lord of created beings.
O Brahmana, I have heard from you that Swayambhu Manu had one famous daughter named Devahuti, who was the wife of Kardama. Because in the 12th chapter it was said that Swayambhu Manu had 3 daughters, they were married to 3 different sages. Of the 3, Devahuti was given importance in comparison to other 2. So that's why he was telling that you spoke about the special daughter of Daksha, Swayambhu Manu, her name was Devahuti. So please, I heard about she marrying Kardama. Now I want to know about them. Why? Why you specifically wants to know about Devahuti and Kardama's marriage? Tasyam vai Mahayogi
Tasyam vai savai Mahayogi
Yuktayam Yoga Lakshanai
Yuktayam Yoga Lakshanai
Sasarja Katita Viryam
Sasarja Katita Viryam
Tanme Sushrusha Vevada.
Tanme Shushrutsa Vada. How many offspring did that great yogi beget through the princess, who was endowed with the eightfold perfection in the yoga principles? Oh, pray tell me this, for I am eager to hear it.
Yeah. Now here Vidura is saying that since I desire to hear, please tell me how the great yogi Kardama produced some sons in Devahuti who was disciplined in the stages of yoga. So basically Vidura is telling that I heard that Devahuti and Kardama had a son who taught the process of yoga far and wide. I want to know about him I want to know about that yoga taught by him. Both. Basically, the questions are slowly pinpointing towards Lord Kapila. Yoga Lakshana means qualified with the stages of yoga such as Yama. Kardama produced some son, Viryam Satharja. So not some, actually one son only, but he's saying that one son himself is equal to 100 sons. So in that way you can say. So I want to hear about that special son of Kardama Muni who taught the yogas, the different types of yogas everywhere. Ruchiryo Bhagavan Brahman.
Ruchiryo Bhagavan Brahman.
Daksho va Brahmana Suta.
Daksho va Brahmana Suta.
Yata Sasarja Bhutani.
Yata Sasarja Bhutani.
Labdva Bharyam cha Manavim.
Labdva Bharyam cha Manavim. O holy sage, tell me how the worshipful Ruchi and Daksha, the son of Brahma, generated children after securing as their wives the other two daughters of Swayambha Manu.
Please describe how the sons of Brahma, Ruchi and Daksha, who married Akuti and Prasuti, the two daughters of Swayambhu Manu, and their wives, and how did they produce offspring? Basically, he was asking about the children and activities of the 5 children of Swayambhu Manu. Swayambhu Manu had 2 sons, Priyavrata and Uttanapada. How did they rule over the Bhumandala? What are their activities? And 3 daughters. They Akuti, Devoti, Prasuti. They married to Ruchi, Kardama, and Daksha. And what kind of children they have? Please tell about all these things. So about Priyavrata, Maitreya will, the Bhagavatam will talk about it in 5th canto. About Uttanapada in the 4th canto. About the children of Prasuti and Akuti in the 4th canto, 1st chapter. And about the children about Devahuti are under marriage with Kardama Muni in the 3rd canto. But about their children and their marriages and their children will be talked about in the 4th canto, 1st chapter. But the 3rd canto mainly focuses on that person, that is Lord Kapila. Yuktayam Yoga Lakshanam. He is a Mahayogi who appeared to teach the Yoga Lakshana, the different qualities and attributes and activities of the different types of yogas. So I want to know more specifically about that person, and the rest of the 3rd canto will be focused on that one person, that is Lord Kapila. So in that way, it will continue. So slowly, the discussion will go in the direction of Lord Kapila's appearance. So now Maitreya will be responding. What happened? What kind of events led to the appearance of Lord Kapila? And what kinds of events led to Lord Kapila speaking Yoga Lakshana? That will be the subject matter of these 4 chapters. Maitreya Uvacha.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Praja Srujeti Bhagavan.
Praja Srujeti Bhagavan.
Kardamo Brahmanodita.
Kardamo Brahmanodita.
Saraswatyam Tapastepe.
Saraswatyam Tapastepe.
Sahasramam Samadasha.
Sahasranam Samadasha. The great sage Maitreya replied, commanded by Lord Brahma to beget children in the world, the worshipful Kardam Muni practiced penance on the bank of the river Saraswati for a period of 10,000 years. Hare Krishna.
Maitreya said, my dear Vidura, when Brahma said to Kardama produce progeny, as usual, whoever appeared from Brahma, Brahma had only one instruction to his children. So my dear sons, this is the seva which was given to me by the Lord. You being my son, you should carry forward the same thing. So get married and beget children, produce progeny and maintain them, something like that. So following the instruction of Brahmaji, Kardama went to the bank of Saraswati river and performed penance for 10,000 years. So, of course, Kardama being a son had to follow the instruction of his father. He is trying to follow it. But Kardama himself has a different temperament. His temperament being a devotee to serve the Lord for the rest of eternity. But at the same time, he cannot neglect the instruction of his father. So in order to make sure that both things will take in place, he wants to have a proper, appropriate atmosphere where he can beget children as well as he can practice bhakti also. So for that, in order to prepare himself, he was performing austerities for 10,000 years. Later on, we see when Kardama offers prayers, we understand that apparently from external it appears that Kardama is performing tapasya for 10,000 years to get a wife, so that he will get a beget children. Not completely like that. Kardama is performing austerities in such a way that he will get a wife who will be cooperative in the execution of his bhakti, as well as through her he can fulfill the order of his father as begetting children, as well as his temperament of exclusive service to Supreme Lord also will not be hampered. With all these intentions, he was performing tapasya for a long time. To get a wife, he is performing so much tapasya, but not an ordinary wife. He want to get a wife through whom he can accomplish all multiple activities. What he desired, what was the desire of his father, everything he want to accomplish. So in that way. Tata samadhi yuktena
तथा समाधियुक्तेन
kriya yogena kardama
क्रियायोगेन कर्दमा
samprapede harim bhakta
संप्रपेदे हरिं भक्त्या
prapanna varadashusham.
प्रपन्ना वरदाशुसम. During that period of penance, the sage Kardama, by worship through devotional service and trance, propitiated the personality of Godhead, who is the quick bestower of all blessings upon those who flee to him for protection. Hare Krishna.
Then, through his austerities using methods of worship, Kardama, with concentrated mind, with devotion, worship the Supreme Lord, giver of the benedictions to the surrendered souls. So, with self-control, Kardama executed worship of the Supreme Lord. See, apparently from the external thing we can understand. So, Kardama is a personality of the higher order, and which is like the area where they live is like that of Satya Yuga. And the process of Satya Yuga, the process of executing bhakti during Satya Yuga is to perform tapasya, dhyana. So that through that dhyana, he was worshipping the Supreme Lord. After his austerities, by that austerity, with mind concentrated in his methods of worship, he saw the Lord, who is the giver of benedictions to the devotees who are surrendered to him. Because with a proper, genuine, and bona fide desire, Kardama performed this tapasya for 10,000 years. So Lord was so much pleased with his desire to serve his father and serve the Supreme Lord. The Lord made his appearance in front of Kardama at the end of 10,000 years of austerity. So this is the last verse for our prayer discussion. Tavat prasanno Bhagavan.
तावत् प्रसन्नो भगवान्
Pushkaraksha krute yuge.
पुष्कराक्षाकृते युगे
Darshayam asatam kshatta.
दर्शयान् आशतं सत्ता
Shabdam Brahma dadavapu.
Shabdam Brahma Dadvapu. Then in the Satya Yuga, the lotus-eyed Supreme Personality of Godhead, being pleased, showed himself to that Kardama Muni and displayed his transcendental form, which can be understood only through the Vedas.
O Vidura, the Pushkaraksha, the lotus-eyed Lord, having a body made up of the Vedas, Shabda Brahma Vapu. His body is made up of Shabda Brahma, means Vedas, the Vedic literatures. Being pleased with Kardama showed him his transcendental form in Satya Yuga. So this entire activity is happening in the Satya Yuga time period. That time Lord made his appearance in front of Kardama Muni, who was very intensely, very sincerely performing tapasya to have darshan of the Supreme Lord. Worshipping the Lord until he saw the Supreme Lord, Kardama quickly saw the Lord by his mercy. The Lord is known only through the scriptures. He had a body made up of Vedas. This is Swami's explanation. The phrase Dada Vapu can also mean revealing his form of eternity, knowledge and bliss, Sachidananda Swarupa. It can also mean nourished by the scents, garlands and food offered by Kardama. Kardama was worshipping the deity of the Lord for these last 10,000 years. So then Lord was so much pleased, and in that pleasure, Lord made his appearance in front of Kardama Muni. So what kind of form of the Lord appeared in front of the Kardama Muni is described in the next 4 verses, 9 to 12. And then the prayers offered by Kardama and the blessings offered by Lord Vishnu, and then eventually the marriage between Kardama and Devahuti as ordained by the Supreme Lord will be discussed in the upcoming chapters of Bhagavatam. So we'll stop here, because since the discussion will be continued, darshan and the discussion, they're all related, so we'll discuss them next week. So before closing, any questions till now? Hare Krishna. Devotees have any questions before concluding?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay.
No, Prabhuji.
So no one have any questions. Fine, thank you. So we will stop here for today, and then we will continue next week from text number 9 onwards.